Hey everyone, happy Makeover Monday. I'm Kim Seltzer, a dating and makeover expert. Join me here every Monday where I give you style and dating and communication tips to help you all gain your confidence so that you attract whatever it is you want. It could be love, it could be new opportunities in business. This stuff works no matter what. It works in life. So, all right, let's get to it. Today, I was actually inspired because, as you know, Halloween is tomorrow. Last week, I did a whole thing where I wore a costume and I talked about how costumes can help you get your flirt on. Well, today, I want to really talk about things that go beyond what you wear and how to get people to approach you. But in particular, I really want to focus on women. So women, if you're listening, I have an important message for you. And I know this is going to sound harsh. You have a responsibility in getting men to approach you. I know that kind of sounds a little harsh, but it is true. And I can safely say this actually based on my own experience. And I'm going to share a quick story around that. But also seeing so many women, as you know, I go out in the field and I see what is happening out there. And, you know, I'm hearing a lot that women are complaining that men don't approach them and they wish that men would be more alpha, that they would just go up to the woman and approach her. And men are getting upset because women aren't approachable. So the truth is that we both have responsibility, men and women, when it comes to approachability. And today I really want to focus on women and how you can get men to approach you. It's not as hard as you think. So I want to start out actually with a personal story so that you guys know that I'm with you. I'm not just lecturing you, because I once was a girl who did not get approached at all. And I didn't know back then what I knew now, actually, of course, because this is what I teach, right? So when I was first divorced, I had a girlfriend introduce me to another single mom. It was my first kind of single friend. And she wanted to take me out on the town for the first time. And I was petrified, but I knew that I had to get out of my little cocoon, right? And go out there and somehow muster up the energy to flirt, to just talk to men, get to know them. So when she showed up at the door, you know, she was decked out to the nines and she looked fantastic. And we drove to this bar and we walked in, and I realized in that moment, it wasn't just about what she wore. It was how she worked it. And there were some specific things she did that night that is something that I'm about to teach all of you that really worked for her, because by the end of the night, she had guys left and right just globbing onto her like bees to honey. And again, she looked great, but it was really something else. And now, mind you, that didn't happen to me that night. I totally felt invisible. In fact, I remember with, you know, again, wearing the big clothes and being in my little, you know, cocoon, my protection shell. I remember feeling that night that even if the guy approached me, I don't think I knew what to do with it. So I was scared. So of course I wasn't giving signals to the men that I was approachable. So here's the overall thing that I want you all to realize. And men, again, you can back me up. Rob, you're there, so you can back me up. If you don't have your cab light on, right, and you don't give the signal to the man that you're approachable, I don't care what else you got going on, he is not going to approach you. Plain and simple, right guys? You can back me up. In fact, I know that, you know, back then when I was thinking about my cab light, I certainly, not only was it off, I think I had a light that said, warning, warning, do not come close. And that I know I was wearing all around, not just that night, but just out and about. So if you have that and you're scared, or there's fears around it, or you think it's the guy's job to come approach you, I really want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you, because there are some really simple things you can do to get that guy to approach you. And here's a little disclaimer. And I can't believe I'm saying this because you know me, I'm always talking about dressing fabulous and looking your best, but you can look fabulous, you can look hot, you can look really, really pretty. But actually, that is even more the reason to do what I'm about to tell you, because guys can be really intimidated. And if you don't give the smoke signals that you're available and approachable and open, they're still not going to come to you. Okay, so you ready? And actually, these are going to surprise you. So the first thing is know who you're going out with. Really take a look at who you're going out with and where you're going. Now, this is the one kind of area that I would say safety is not in numbers, and not at numbers at all. In fact, women tend to get more, I don't know, they're approached a lot more when they're alone or with one other woman. But the other thing is look who you're going out with. So it could be the number of people, and men tell me this all the time because I coach men as well. And they say, when I see a bunch of women cackling in the corner and their body language is really closed, I'm not going to approach them. So look at the people that you are surrounding yourself with. Are they, kind of negative Nellies? Do they have scowls on their face? Do you just kind of hang out with yourselves in a corner and then you wonder why guys aren't gonna go out with you? So I recommend either going out by yourself or picking one person who is really good and positive and fun to go out with, but that you really complement one another. Because that guy is sure to say hi to you much more likely than if you're in a big group. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing, and this is surprising, women don't think about this. Men, I think about this more. Look at your positioning. It's just like you're in a battlefield and you are checking out the entire environment, and you got to place yourself strategically where those guys are so that you are more likely for those guys to come over. If you see a cute guy in a room and he is like 1,000 feet away from you and blocked with, some pole, he's not going to come and approach you. You have to make yourself available. I have a funny story around this that'll really exemplify what I'm saying. So I was coaching a woman. This is hilarious. We walked into this bar, and I don't know if you guys can imagine, but the bar was like a V, like this, okay? And we walked in, and I said to my client, all right, if I wasn't with you, where would you sit? And so she's looking at the stools, and she's looking at the empty spaces. Now, mind you, there was an empty space right at the epicenter, like right where the two lines met. Then there was a guy right next to that empty seat. And then on the other side of him was another empty seat. And all the way down the line, there were two empty seats, right there. So what would you guys pick? If you knew that there were two empty seats that were kind of like around this one single guy, and then two empty seats all the way in the end, which would you choose? No guesses. Okay. Well, I'll tell you what my client said. And she said, oh, I would choose the ones all the way at the end because that's easy. And I'm like, wrong answer. And she's like, well, why? That's the easiest, most logical way. I said, but when it comes to dating, there is no logic. Dating is supposed to be surprisingly fun. You can't have too much of an agenda when it comes to, especially being approached. Right? Yes, Chantalyn, you are correct. Ding, 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 next to him. Yes. And that's exactly what I did. And she said to me right before we went up to him, well, we can't bother him. He's eating, he's watching the game. I said, I've never met a guy who was upset by a woman saying hi and sitting next to him. But let's go see. So of course I take her by the hand. And the key is to not hesitate. I went up to the guy and I said, hey, I was wondering if my friend and I could sit in these seats. And, we didn't want to sit by the doorway. There was a draft and wondering if we could just sit next to you. And he almost got flustered. And he said, well, sure. And I said, well, unless you want us to straddle you here. He goes, oh, no. And it was really like playful and fun. And again, a little flirty. And so he moved down. We sat right next to him and we had a ball. Now, why this was really important, not only were we able to talk to this guy, but we were able to talk to the bartender. And the bartender was like the conduit to all the other people in the room, right? And we were able to create conversation with everybody in that bar. Had we sat all the way at the end, we never would have had that opportunity. So again, make yourself available and you will be approached probably 90% more than you would if you're hiding in a corner or sitting at the end of the bar. All right, and then the third, and this is something you probably hear over and over again, but it is so true. Ladies, make eye contact and smile. And here's something that's kind of a novel idea. Say hi. Oh my God, wouldn't that be awesome? Guys, wouldn't you love a woman to just say hi? And what I find to be true, that so many women don't do this. You be the woman that does, because you will get approached and not the other women. Smile and say hi. The men will not bite. And again, just like I said in my last video when I was talking about flirting, don't worry about the outcome or, giving a guy the wrong signal or anything like that. Just be friendly. Create a magnetic energy that just draws everybody to you. And it doesn't matter. You're just being friendly. And if you go out and practice these 3 steps, I swear this stuff works. In fact, I challenge you right now, and I may do something that is, even more specific in a challenge, but any of you watching, I want you to try these 3 steps and then come back and tell me a story of what happened. You can DM me, you can write in the comment box. I want to see if this stuff works, okay? And if you get good results, I want to hear the story. Oh, and I love that Chantalyn and Rob are having this awesome conversation because this stuff is true. And men, if you're watching, please let these ladies know that this would help you, right? So anyway, that is my tips for today. If you want to know more, you definitely can go to my site, seltzerstyle.com. I also have a new podcast out. Woohoo! I'm so excited. I finally launched it about a month ago, and it's called The Charisma Quotient. You can catch it on iTunes every Wednesday. I have new episodes. So I also have a lot of fun things that I'm about to announce, including a retreat. So stay tuned for that. All right, guys, it's been fun. Thanks for all the interaction, Chantalyn and Rob. See you later. Bye.